Oh, how sweet it is, baby. Welcome to the Vol Bros presented by the Ooltewah Club. My name is Evan. This is my brother Ruston, and we are two Vol Bros who are actually bros in real life. And how many times have we said in the last 4 years on this show the single most important factor in March is veteran guard play, specifically guards who can make free throws when they're being fouled to stop the clock at the end of a game. And ladies and gentlemen, how awesome was it watching Jacoby Gillespie hit not one, not two, not three, not four, not even five, but going 6 for 6 from the free throw line in the last minute of that game. That is the stuff that every other coach in America was watching that salivating, because that is the stuff that coaches' dreams are made of. That was awesome. I mean, just I can't even put into words. Like it's borderline erotic. I mean, it was just incredible watching him make ice in his veins. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, just one after another. Well done, Jacoby. Well done. That was a beautiful thing to watch. Every coach in America is sitting there thinking, man, I wish I had that guy shooting free throws for my team at the end of a game.
Steve
Rusty,
Lapis. Steve Lapis said it on air while it was happening.
Yep. What was your take about what we just watched?
One heck of a basketball game. Two very good teams fighting it out. Two very good coaches playing chess back and forth. I've said all year long this team's built for March. I picked them to make it to the Elite Eight. If they continue to handle offensive distribution the way they are right now, they might even make it past the Elite Eight. 26 made shots tonight, assists on 20 of them. That is just unbelievable. And what makes that more impressive, like usually when you hear numbers like that, you expect a fairly up-tempo, fast break game. Tennessee and Virginia combined for 7 fast break points. 7. That means both teams were running half-court stuff. Both teams were running solid offense. To
Incredibly
assist on
efficiently.
20, yeah, to assist on 20 out of 26 made shots in that type of game is just incredible. The 4 post players combined for 27 and 16, but my goodness, Bishop Boswell. They were talking about Jacoby in the post game, then they talked about Nate in the post game. And I'm sitting there going, guys, Bishop Boswell just missed a double-double by 1 assist. That
4
joker
threes.
had 13 and 9. He played unbelievable defense. I don't know if you noticed in the second half they switched it up and they put him on Virginia's best player. And every time that kid would leave the floor, Bishop would get a break. The second that kid came back in, Bishop was right back in. And that kid missed 8 shots in the second half. So, kudos to Bishop Boswell, possibly his best game ever as a Vol.
100% agree. No, I don't even think it's debatable. That was it.
13 points, 9 assists, and in the second half completely shut down Virginia's best player. To the point that, we had that insane defensive breakdown with like 30 seconds left, and the dude airballs a wide open 3.
Yeah, I was shocked.
But that's a culmination of an entire half of Bishop in his head, forcing him to miss shot after shot. That dude missed 8 shots in the second half after being unconscious in the first half. Bishop got in his head and totally changed the complexion of that game.
Absolutely. Let's see if folks are celebrating with us in the comments. K Train, welcome, buddy. He liked how excited I was. I was so pumped up, man, watching that game. Oh man, I was so pumped up. Richard, welcome, buddy, all the way from Phoenix. How about them Vols? Absolutely. Glad you're with us. Richard, Matt, glad you're with us. Let's see. Let's go back up to the top of the comments. Elijah hit the nail on the head from the get-go. He said Gillespie was huge knocking down those free throws late. Ice in his veins. How about Bishop hitting some big-time threes as well? Bishop was our offense in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And he said, very good sign if he can keep that up. Absolutely. I mean, to his credit, they asked him at halftime, essentially why are you having this offensive, flurry all of a sudden? And they said it much nicer than that, but essentially he said my teammates were, driving gaps and they were leaving me open and they were just kicking the ball to me. And he was wide, like the first 3 of the game that he was wide open. And kudos to him. He drained it. He was on fire in the first half. His last 3 of the game was huge too, because that was in a clutch moment where we needed some momentum, and that was a big momentum swing.
Jalen Carey had a great first half too. He really stepped in and gave great minutes.
And he finished 10 points? I mean, it was awesome.
Yeah.
That move he had where it was an and one, I think in the second half, he pivoted to his right, had his right foot as his pivot foot, got the guy a little bit in the air, went under him, was scooping it up, made the bucket, and got the foul. That was beautiful. And then he made the free throw, converted the 3-point play. Mississippi Vol, welcome, buddy. He said, how sweet it is. Go Big Orange. Absolutely.
And it's got to be really, Jalen Carey's got to be smiling a little bit inside, knowing that he's going to the Sweet 16 and Vanderbilt's season's over.
Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, side note, shout out to Vanderbilt, Nebraska for an absolutely phenomenal basketball game yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, that was unbelievable basketball. I posted this on Twitter. I've been alive 40 years. I've seen a lot of basketball games. That was easily in the top 3 ever, in my opinion. Like, that was an incredible basketball game. I think number 1 all time would have to be Duke, Maryland in 2001 when Duke was down by 10 with 56 seconds left and came back and tied it and won. That was phenomenal. But that game yesterday, just every single possession felt like it was huge. I mean, every single possession felt like it was the last minute of the game. And Nebraska's fans, holy cow, they made it sound like it was a home game. I mean, it was incredible. Billy, welcome, buddy. Glad you're with us. Stingray, welcome, buddy. Glad you're with us. He said both men's teams got it done. Did great today. Absolutely. Baseball wins the series today 7-1. They played really well. And Mississippi Vol tees us up perfectly for the next one. He said, I'm sure we'll discuss it later, but I have to give a shout out to Cam Appenzeller for that brilliant performance on the mound last night. In a jam, we have an app for that. I mean, how incredible was it? Appenzeller comes into the game yesterday, bases loaded, no outs, strikes out the first 2 dudes, and then ends the inning sitting down the third guy as well, and on a ground ball to Manny Marin. 16 pitches, 13 of which for strikes. I mean, it was awesome. Let's see. Matt's pumped up. Absolutely. He said, how sweet 16 it is. Amen, brother. Let's see. Rhonda said, everybody's still breathing.
Rick Barnes' 4th Sweet 16 in a row.
In a row. That's exactly right. Nolan, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. Let's see. Rhonda said, I say it's great to be a Tennessee Vol. Absolutely. Matt said Iowa State now. Probably going to be an MMA fight if I had to guess. It will be a physical game, no doubt about it. Now, listen, I was shocked at how bad Iowa State beat Kentucky today. Iowa State lost their best player in the first round. I don't know if he'll be back for next weekend or not. But they just stomped Kentucky.
Second half, I don't think Kentucky could have played much worse in the second half. I mean, it was a 1-point game at halftime. And Kentucky just fell apart.
Absolutely. Can you give me an update? Can anybody give me an update on the Iowa-Florida game right now? What's going on?
Florida's up by 3 with a minute left.
Let's see. Matt mentions Boswell. Absolutely. Jonathan, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, hello, Evan, Ruston, and chat family. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Don't forget to tell your mom about the Vol Bros. What a game tonight. Absolutely. Let's see. Stingray said just clutch free throws from Gillespie. Absolutely. Clay, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He said, let's go, guys. I'm so happy. Absolutely. K-Trade said, I love that Bishop wasn't afraid to shoot tonight. I mean, that clearly their game plan was we're not going to let Gillespie beat us, which he ended up doing anyway. They said we're going to make Boswell beat us, and kudos to Bishop. He was making shots.
And that, the other thing is Nate's playing very injured right now, which kudos to him. He's fighting through it.
You can tell he is not 100%.
No.
He's thinking about that ankle a lot.
But Bishop stepping up and playing the way he's playing takes a ton of pressure off Nate.
Yep, agreed. Rhonda said Coach Barnes deserves a Final Four in a championship game. Oh, I 100% agree with that. Absolutely. Chris said great all-around team effort. Glad you're with us, Chris. Matt said I need Ruston to brief us on Iowa State. So we'll do that here in just a second if he wants to. Let's see. Jonathan said, I believe Boswell is the key to this team. James, welcome back. Good to have you. He said, good evening, fellas. Why can't we beat Florida in any sport? I don't get it. Frustrating for softball. Well, they did win game one. Kudos to Carlin for pitching an absolute gem of a game on game one. Florida's number 8 team in the country, I think, ranked number 8, I think.
Number 8.
And Lady Vols dropped one today. They'll lose the series for the first time this year. I mean, listen, they're still incredible.
Florida has probably the best hitter in the entire country on their roster. They got a girl, their leadoff hitter. She's hitting over 500 with 13 bombs, and she hit one today. Tennessee's biggest issue right now, and it'll be fixed by time. Carlin, I don't believe, is still 100%, and she's avoiding throwing her rise ball, which tells me the rise ball puts a lot of pressure on the shoulder. She's not throwing it nearly as much as she would in a normal game. So, when she can't throw her rise ball, it's the Tegan Coons issue. It's the same issue baseball has. You can throw as hard as you want, but if it's flat and in the middle of the plate, they just got to get a barrel on it. And, Florida has good pitching. They did a good job keeping our hitters off balance all weekend. And Carlin threw some pitches in the middle of the plate that barrels just ran into. And as hard as she throws, if you catch it on the barrel, it's going to go. She has to have that rise ball to change their sight lines when they're hitting, because that makes the low fastball or the screwball look even better, because if they see something that's doing this that appears to be going up as it comes in, then it changes their eye levels, which makes all her other pitches better. She's not throwing many rise balls right now. And again, time heals. She needs to stay in rehab. She needs to keep going to the training room, getting better. And, within a couple of weeks, she'll probably be back to her normal self. But right now, if she can't throw the rise ball, it makes her very vulnerable.
Backflip Spaghetti, welcome, buddy. Good to have you. He asked a great question. He said, why did Rick Barnes put Nate Ament on the line for those technical free throws instead of Gillespie? That's a really good question. I think at that time, I'm not Rick Barnes, so I don't know, but I'll give my thoughts. At that particular moment, Nate was kind of on a heater at that particular moment. He had scored on like 3 of our 4 last possessions on that particular moment of the game.
He was also already 4 for 4 at the free throw line.
So, I mean, I would venture to guess that's why he chose Nate. But we all saw, I think from here on out, it's going to be Gillespie at the free throw line. Of his 6 free throws, I think 1 of them hit the rim. The other 5 were nothing but net. Just absolutely incredible.
Side note, what in the world was that dude thinking, shoving JP in the back right in front of the ref? I mean, that was stupid.
Yeah. That was really dumb.
They were fortunate we only got 1 point out of that, but that could have easily been a 5-point possession. That was dumb.
Chris made a really good point. He said, I'm old enough to remember when we made Sweet 16s every 8 years or more, right? That just shows what Rick Barnes has done at Tennessee. I mean, they were one of only 3 programs in the country who had made the last 3 Sweet 16s. I think Kentucky was one of the other 2.
Iowa just hit a 3 with 4 seconds left to go up by 1.
Oh, baby. March Madness, baby. Can you imagine how many brackets are just going to explode?
Well, I don't know if you saw it or not, but after Tennessee won, that eliminated the only perfect brackets in the world. There are no more perfect brackets.
I believe it.
We're not even through the first weekend.
I believe it. Deborah, welcome, Deborah. She said the basketballs are taking years off Coach Barnes' life. Jonathan, some people say Barnes can't coach. Exactly. Backflip Skitty said the AI brackets are a bust. I wonder how many people used AI to pick their whole bracket this year. I bet
that's crazy. Florida was trying to press. There was 8 seconds left. Florida was trying to press to force them to use clock, and they broke the press down the sideline and hit a shooter wide open in the corner. They were down 2. Buries a corner 3. They're up 73-72 with 4 seconds left. Florida ball.
Wow. K-Train said Nate's a freaking warrior, 16 points with 1.5 ankles. That's a good point. I mean, you could tell just by the way, I mean, he's thinking about it. That's the best way to say it. He's thinking about it.
And they keep falling on it. Like every time he has contact, they seem to fall on his ankle. It's like, what in the world?
I mean, in that, to your point, in the first half, when like the first 5 minutes of the game, dude fell on his right ankle and he immediately grabbed it. I mean, like he's thinking about it. That's for sure. Let's see.
Well, and apparently it's not going to get any better. I mean, Rick made the comment either pregame or during one of those TV timeouts that it's not going to get better till the season's over. So he's just going to have to deal with
it. Billy said, I watched the Lady Vols, and you're right, Evan. We need very good shooters. The girls we have now can't hit anything, even though the season is over. We'll talk about the Lady Vols here in just a minute. Let's see. Travel the Smokies. Hey, welcome. Glad you're with us. They say good Sweet 16 evening, everyone. Absolutely. Deborah said allergies are killing me, but nothing the basketballs can't cure. Apparently Matt's struggling with allergies too. I am too, man. Something's blooming right now in Chattanooga and it's getting me.
All the Bradford pears. They should all be set on fire.
When you mentioned the guy shoving JP in the back, Travel the Smoky said, did he think he was pelling from Alabama and Nate Oates?
If it was Alabama, it would have been worse than a shove in the back. You know, they worry more about drug deals gone bad.
Jonathan said, can someone tell me when the Kentucky and Vandy Sweet 16 game start? Let's see. James, that's a great question. James, I'm going to start that because we're going to talk about the Lady Vols here in just a second. Travel the Smoky said he used Gemini and ChatGPT for 2 of his brackets. Jonathan said my bracket looks like Swiss cheese after this weekend.
Oh my James. Gosh. Florida did not get a shot off.
What? No way.
Drove the length of the floor and tried to make a pass into traffic. Deflection, game over. They didn't get a shot off.
Oh, my word. Holy cow. Can you hear all of the kaboom, kaboom, all the brackets just bursting right now? Let's see.
The dude who hit the 3 for Iowa looks like he's 37 years old. And as soon as the horn went off, he ran up in the bleachers and found his wife and was kissing his wife in the stands.
I love that people are celebrating in the comments. That's what I'm talking about.
It was the dumbest decision I've ever made. He drove into traffic, got up in the air, had nowhere to go with it, and just tried to throw a ball into the middle of nothing. I mean, there's six guys in the lane, and he just threw it in the middle of them, and it just got deflected away, and the horn went off. Game over.
Well, with that being said, let's see how our bracket challenge is going right now. Let's see. Oh, this is really interesting, actually. All right, I'm going to share my screen so people can see this. All right, so I'll zoom in. So right now, Brady Haggerty is, what in the world? He's in the 99.9 percentile for accuracy in brackets. But the problem for Brady is he had Florida as his national championship.
He's finished.
That's going to hurt pretty bad there. Now everybody else is just going to kind of leapfrog him. So Matthew Pig is.
Well, it's crazy. Is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us right there within 10 points of each other.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And I say us because I'm in those 5.
Yes, you are in those 5. That is true. You are in those 5. I am not in those 5.
And my 12-year-old daughter is tied for 7th. So the rest of you should feel really awful about that.
Yeah, I'm currently in tied for 18th at 410 points. You have you're 50 points ahead of me. No, 40 points ahead of me. So I'm not too far behind. That's only 3, maybe 4 games difference there. That's cool. Our buddy Clay, channel member, he's tied with you there. Hey Clay, speaking of Clay, on our most recent watch party member watch party live stream, Clay won a Go Big Orange hat like I'm wearing right now, a GBO hat. It's already shipped to him. It should be arriving at his house. May already get there. Clay, if you're watching, let me know. So Brady Haggerty, enjoy your time for the next 20 minutes at the top, because it's not going to go well for Brady from here. Let's see here. Some of the comments that came through. These are pretty funny. Let's see. Slim did the Kentucky paw prints, anchor down, and the gator with the thumbs down. K-Train said, my bracket equals cooked. Matt, this is my favorite comment. Matt said, this day is getting better and better. Deborah said that last play is going to haunt Florida for a long time. Absolutely. Tin Cup said Florida could have used a timeout.
I don't know what. Like, I honestly, I've watched that play 4 times now. I don't know what they were trying to do. Like, he just drove out of control down the side of the lane and got up in the air with nowhere to go and was just like, I'll just chuck it over here. And no one else was doing anything. Like, they weren't screening other guys. They were all just standing around. I have no idea what they drew up.
So my son just walked in the room and he goes, Florida just lost by 1. All of my brackets are busted. Yeah, we're talking about it on here. People are celebrating in the comments. That's pretty good. Good night, buddy. Travel to Smokey said he picked Michigan to win it all. Jim and I picked Duke, and ChatGPT picked Arizona. So I picked Arizona, but let me tell y'all something. Hey, you heard it here first. I don't think Duke wants any part of St. John's in the Sweet 16. That has upset city written all over it, because Those dudes are going to get out there and fight and scrap and want every single inch of that game. Yeah. And Duke has a couple of really important injuries. So now the good thing for Duke is Cameron Boozer's on their team. And no one on St. John's is anything like Cameron Boozer. But that is going to be a phenomenal Sweet 16 game. Let's see. Oh, Sean's with us. Sean said he didn't realize he was tied for second. Yeah, Sean's tied for second in the bracket challenge. Rhonda said the bracket in her head's perfect, though. Matt said, I don't buy Powerballs and I don't guess brackets. I know I'm lame. I totally get it, buddy. Deborah said, Ruston, you know basketball too well to be in this contest.
That means literally nothing. It's all just guessing.
Nolan said, can we talk about Sawyer Bowen having Virginia as his national championship or champion? How's that working? John said, now if Bama can lose, this would be a perfect day for me. Bama tips off in like 4 minutes.
Did you hear what Rick Pitino said after the game about the final shot? You know, the kid who hit the final shot, that was his only basket of the entire game. He walked in the huddle during the timeout, looked at Rick Barnes, he's his point guard, looked at Rick Pitino and said, call a play for me. And Rick Pitino was like, he's my point guard. He's trustworthy. We've leaned on him in times. And so we were like, all right, we're going to drop a play for him. So that Joker's only basket of the game was the game winner. And he walked in the huddle and made them draw up a play for him.
Travel Smokey said that's a Hoosiers moment. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is a phenomenal drive by the dude as well. And you know what? Hey, shout out to Bill Self. Side note, I called this game in our bracket challenge. I picked the St. John's to upset Kansas. But shout out to Bill Self. Bill Self, those last, 10 seconds, he had a brilliant game plan.
Mm-hmm.
He knew he had 2 fouls to give. He took them, they got the ball with 9.6 seconds left, I think it was. He took almost 6 whole seconds off the clock because he let him inbound the ball, foul him, let him inbound it again, and fouled him again. That was brilliant. So kudos to Bill Self. He played that about as well as he possibly could have. Dude, for St. John's, just made an incredible individual play. James said Barnes needs to go get that point guard from High Point if he has more else. Yeah, amen. How many people? I was literally last night sitting there watching that. I was thinking, man, that Rob Martin dude and the Thompson kid for, or was it Thompson or Johnson? Not 99 was his number for High Point.
Johnston, he's done. Yeah. That was his last game.
Oh, okay. But I was sitting there thinking, I bet those dudes' phones are going to be ringing off the hook tomorrow. All these people are going to be calling them, hey, come transfer, play for me.
The Johnston kid is actually now going to seminary.
Oh, awesome. Cool. That's really cool. Talk about a quick release. Good night. That dude catches it and it's out of his hand before he blinks.
Yeah. He talked about it. They interviewed him in the post game. He was one of the guys they made available to the media. And he made a point to talk about he's a religious studies major and that his next stop is seminary.
Well, that's awesome. That's really cool. Dude, if they have an intramural basketball team at that seminary, they are going to kill everybody.
Yeah.
They are going to dominate.
The only intramural team in America that pulls from the logo.
Yeah. They are going to dominate. Travel the Smoky said his sermons will all be quick release now. Let's see.
And Rob Martin is a senior also. His eligibility's done. He probably played himself into an undrafted free agent spot, though. There's going to be some NBA teams that are like, we're going to take a chance on that dude.
30 points in that game. It was awesome. Matt, dude, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you so much, man. That is awesome. Rhonda said that's what March Madness is all about. Absolutely. 10 Cup said this is the best week in sports, in my opinion. Absolutely. Thursday through Thursday through Sunday of the first 2 rounds of the tournament are the 4 best days of the year for sports, period, in my opinion. Let's see. Deborah said, even though Nate didn't have a great night, I love that block he made, and so did he. Absolutely. And that's the thing. I mean, Nate played really, really well for a dude with a hurt ankle. I mean, very, very impressed. Shout out to Jacoby. Free throws matter. Absolutely loved it. Any last thoughts about the men's basketball game before? Like, you want to talk about Iowa State, or do you want to?
So, no. So I was actually going to offer. So since Joshua Jefferson got injured, this is the first game they've played without him. I want to go back. I'll tell you what. I'll make everybody a deal. I'll go back and watch Kentucky Iowa State and break down Iowa State and create a video talking through basically a scouting report on Iowa State without Joshua Jefferson. And then we can post that during the week leading up to the game. Right now, ESPN's saying it's going to be a Friday night game, which is interesting. But
well, I was thinking about that, and I would be shocked if it's not a primetime game either Thursday night or Friday night. Because, I mean, when you look at all the matchups in the Sweet 16, this Tennessee-Iowa State matchup is very compelling. It's going to be a great game. And I think that they're going to put it in a primetime slot, like either like a 7 o'clock tip or a 9 o'clock tip. Probably a 9 o'clock tip, because there'll be probably one other game that's more compelling. So either Thursday or Friday night, I would not be shocked at all if it's like the 9 o'clock late tip that night. Let's see. K-Train said, hopefully Jacoby can score 30 against Iowa State. Yeah, absolutely. So here's what I was going to say about that game. Listen, that's going to be a really tough matchup for Tennessee. That's all I got to say.
I don't know. I picked Tennessee to beat them before the tournament. They did a good job today. I want to watch that game again. I couldn't tell in the second half if Iowa State did a really good job dismantling Kentucky or if Kentucky just imploded. And I want to watch it again and slow it down and look at some stuff and see why they ran away from them, because the first half was shot for shot. I mean, it was a 1-point game at halftime. Kentucky led some, and then the second half was just an implosion. So I don't know how much of that was Iowa State versus Kentucky blowing up.
Well, I'll put it this way. We need the same Jacoby Gillespie that played against Rutgers and that played against Miami of Ohio to play against Iowa State on whatever night they play, Thursday or Friday.
I do think, I mean, if Joshua Jefferson was playing, I would have picked Iowa State, but he's not. And so I do think we create some matchup issues for them. I think it's going to be real interesting to see if we take advantage of them. But it's going to be interesting to see it's going to be two very different game plans, and whoever is able to execute their plan most consistently is who's going to win.
Let's see. Some of the other comments that came through. Travel Smokey said Jalen Carey even made a free throw. That was an omen. Jared, hey, welcome, Jared. He said, why does Nate Mint
and let's not discount JP's two free throws he made there in crunch time. That was big.
Absolutely. Jared said, why does Nate Mint throw the ball in when he shoots free throws so well in crucial situations? Yeah, that was a very much a freshman mistake when he wasn't able to move on that inbounds pass. And yeah, there were a series of, I think it was 7 possessions. We gave five turnovers and 7 possessions. That wasn't good. Deborah said, I bet Nate won't move again when he That's exactly right. Mr. Jones, welcome, buddy. Well, good to see you again. He said, Oop para, absolutely. Let's see. Matt said, making the Sweet 16 Elite 8 weekend is huge. Time off, different location, more attention, bigger stakes. So good for our program. Absolutely. Totally agree. Yeah, more money. Absolutely.
Much larger royalty check.
K-Train said, why do they get so sloppy? I bet Rick Barnes is asking the same thing, and I bet that's going to be a point of emphasis at practice.
That's a high. Virginia had a huge crowd. They were loud. They were engaged. And that's a high hostility, high volatility moment. And, I don't know that they got careless. I think Virginia was just playing that hard. And it spilled over onto us a little bit. I mean, even the ball that Jacoby inbounded to Nate that ricocheted off Nate's hand out of bounds. Why is he throwing it to the sideline? Nate had 6 inches on the guy that was guarding him. Just lob it up and let him go up and catch it.
Exactly.
So it wasn't just Nate. It was a cumulative effort. I tell my kids all the time, if you're the point guard, it's a man press. It's your job to get open.
Yeah.
Like, we have to get you the ball, and you've got to man up and get open. And then once you get the ball, you stay strong with it, tell everybody else to clear out, and you bring it up. That's your job as the point guard. And there were times tonight when I was a little disturbed at Jacoby's inability to get open. Bishop didn't seem to have any problem getting open, but Jacoby at times struggled to create space and get himself open. And that's got to change. Like, he's got to want to go get the ball.
Deborah said Rick needs a bullhorn to get a timeout. Yeah. I would have loved to have heard. Yeah, I would have loved to have heard just how loud it was. The ref was standing 3 feet away from Rick, and he couldn't hear him hollering for a timeout.
The only other thing I would say, 2 huge steps for this team. Number one, how many times this year have we had a lead, blown it late, and given it up? With 2 minutes left, we blew a lead and we're down by 1, and we won the game by 7 points.
Absolutely.
That's a major maturity step. Number 2,
absolutely.
This is the first game all year we've won with Don Daly officiating.
That's a fair point.
Just saying. So we didn't necessarily overcome 5-on-5. We overcame 5-on-6.
Well, that was the fun part of the show. Now we're going to turn our attention to maybe a not so fun part of the show. The Lady Vols basketball team also played this weekend. We've talked about fun times with the men's basketball team. The baseball team, had a great series win against Missouri today. Came back, lost the first game, came back, won the next 2. Lady Vols won the first game at Florida, lost the next 2, unfortunately, in softball. Lady Vols basketball played an NC State team Friday night. And it kind of sadly was an appropriate ending to the season. Just so everybody knows, that NC State team that beat us by 15 points, they lost by 29 points to Michigan today. Not a good look for the Lady Vols. So, yeah, James knew what was coming. Let's see. K-Train said men are shooting 43.6% from behind the arc. That's good. Nolan said, Evan, I don't know if you can call what the Lady Vols did this weekend as playing. Yeah. Rhonda said, do we have to? James said no changes were made during the 2 weeks they had off. So James asked a great question. He said, "Your thoughts on the Lady Vols game and the post-game press conference?" And then he said, "Did Cooper take herself out at the 2-minute mark?" I do not think she took herself out, but I think that is one thing on a litany of items that we can ask, why in the world was that coaching decision made? In that entire game, the only player on our team who was halfway consistently making buckets was Talasia Cooper. So in the last minute of the game, when you're down by 8, when she came out of the game, I think we were down by 8. And in the last 2 minutes of the game, why is the only person who's been halfway consistent offensively the whole game sitting on the bench the rest of the game when literally the season is about to end if you don't win? For the life of me, I do not understand that decision. I don't get it. What was your take on the Lady Vols game Friday night?
Pretty much what I expected. You know, NC State was very banged up, and they got even more injured against us, which is why they played so poorly against Michigan today. They were basically playing 4 girls in a wheelchair. So it is what it is. Wes Moore's a fantastic coach. He's going to pick apart teams that are not tough. He's going to pick apart teams that don't have high basketball IQ, and it is what it is. I was more impressed with the post-game press conference. I love Kim Caldwell's candor. I think you have to learn when coaches are talking to read between the lines. She basically said everything we've been saying for a month without naming names. She said that she made a mistake early in the season, that this team did not want to play her style, and so she allowed them to create a plan B. She said she never should have allowed that, because every time they would stop playing hard, they would immediately want to jump back to plan B. And that she knows that that's not how her system is going to work, and that she should not have allowed it. She also insinuated that all the players who wanted plan B will not be back next year, which was pretty much all the upperclassmen. She also made the comment that they have got to get tougher, that they've got to do a good job evaluating the portal, which we also have been saying. She also said that, when you as the head coach allow a plan B, that it also creates questions within your staff, which I've also been saying I perceive as an issue, that her staff is not fully bought in. So what I heard in the post-game press conference is, this offseason, there's going to be major change. We are going back to what she wants to do. She's going to overhaul this roster. Either you get on board with how she wants to play, or you will not be a Lady Vol. We're probably going to see a strength conditioning change, where we may see 1 or 2 assistant coaches get kicked to the curb, because she is not going to allow other people to change who she is. And I appreciate that. I don't want her to change who she is. I want her to be who she's been, winning at a high level everywhere she's been. And, I think it's incredibly refreshing that she was that blunt. And I'm probably, more than anything, I'm ecstatic to hear that she is that self-aware, that she recognizes all the issues, and that she's going to address all of them. So I'm very fascinated to see what happens over the next month. Who ends up entering the portal, who ends up getting kicked to the curb. It's going to be an interesting couple of months in Lady Vol world.
Yeah, it was very interesting on the Twitter, on the interwebs. Friday night after that game, I posted that, Kim Caldwell is immediately on the hot seat, starting right now. And there were some folks who really didn't agree with that. Some folks did. And there were some that just straight up did not. And here's all you got to know that she should be rightfully on the hot seat. And I think she knows that she should be on the hot seat. And to what Ruston was just saying, I think she said all of those things because she knows she's on the hot seat, and rightfully so. I asked somebody on Twitter, I said, who was disagreeing with us? I said, do you honestly think that the Lady Vols basketball program is in a better situation now than it was when Kelly got fired? Let's just summarize just 3 facts. This was the worst winning percentage in a season in Lady Vols basketball program history. They finished the year 16-14. It's literally the worst record, the lowest winning percentage ever in the history of Lady Vols basketball. There is only one team in women's basketball, college basketball, who has made every single NCAA tournament. And that's the Lady Vols, and they almost didn't this year. They were dangerously close to not making it. But now, so fact number 1, literally the worst season in the history of the program. That in and of itself should put you on the hot seat as the Lady Vols basketball coach. Fact number 2, for the first time ever in the history of the program, they did not win a single game in the month of March. Fact number 3, prior to this season, the worst stretch of losses they had ever had was they lost 6 out of 7 games. That was the worst stretch they had ever had. They lost 9 of their last 10 games this year, and their last 8 in a row.
And for the first time in school history, did not win a game in March.
Right. Their last win was February the 12th. It was a win over Missouri at home. That was their last win. They won 2 games in the month of February. February 5th and February 12th. That was it. This was literally the worst season in the history of the program. Never before in our program's history had a coach literally said, "My team will quit on you," in a press conference. It was an embarrassing year for Lady Vols basketball, and she should be on the hot seat. She should be, and she better make a lot of changes because they need to happen. Ricky said, "I knew you guys would be talking Lady Vols, and we just made the Sweet 16 Vol Broettes." Ricky, for the first 40 minutes of our show, man, we talked about the men's team.
try to get here on time.
Yeah. Let's see. Travel the Smokey said the fact that Kim left Talage on the bench for the last 2 minutes said that, that she didn't know who to play when it counted. Deborah said, I only saw the ladies' highlights, but I was dumbfounded at the lack of defense. It's like the girls were told, don't raise your hands. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, they just decide they don't want to play, and they just didn't play. And it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. K-Train said, my take on the Lady Vols, I completely forgot they had a game. Jonathan said, it's sad, but I'm glad the Lady Vols season is over. It's time to make loads of roster changes and maybe some assistant coach changes and be better next season. Now, I personally think the biggest change that needs to happen, other than a massive roster turnover, because they got to go. Listen, I don't care where they go. I don't care if they go to High Point University and go to the women's team and find if they got a girl that steps in the gym and she's in her range, get that kid. go find those girls. They're out there somewhere, and bring them and say, please shoot all the time. That's what they need to say. But to Rustin's point on the coaching staff, they have to find somebody that can do strength and conditioning better. They have to. It's not optional. It's not negotiable. If Kim wants to play the way she wants to play up and down the court, pressing nonstop like that, they got to get in way better shape, and they got to start today. They got to get, because everybody saw it all year long. All year long, they would try to hustle up and down the court, and they were dragging, man. Before the first half was even over, they were dragging. And so if you're going to play that style, you better be in shape. They got to go find somebody, a strength and conditioning coach, that can get them in better shape. Nolan said, I think Kim said exactly how she's felt all season. She's been compromising her scheme all year, and it doesn't work like that. It's all or nothing. Your team has to be bought in and stick with it. Yeah, you're exactly right. Deborah said,
I will say this. I was so bothered by our weakness. I did some research on the women's strength coach. He's been with Kim everywhere she's been. So, in his defense, was it him or was it what he had to work with? Because everywhere else it's worked.
Rhonda said anyone in that position would be on a hot seat compared to what we had in Pat Summit. Yeah, that's exactly right. Unfortunately, for all coaches after Pat, the bar was set very, very high. But with that comes the ability to have really your pick of theoretically of players and recruiting. Who wouldn't want to come be a Lady Vol with the historic program that we have? And especially not with NIL money. So there's no excuse to have the worst season ever, literally ever, in the program's history. Jonathan said there has to be major changes this offseason for Kim to make it past next year. They have to get players that want to be coached and fit her system, or next season will be her last season here. Yeah, you're exactly right. Let's see. Deborah made a good point. She said, that's not really the kind of records we want to set. Yeah, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Deborah said, I think Talasia Cooper's attitude in the postgame presser was emblematic of what Kim has been dealing with. Yep. Rhonda said, you have to be willing to be coached. Absolutely.
I thought Talasia in the post-game press conference was weirdly honest. At one point she made the comment that, and it made me wonder if she might be back next year, but she made the comment that if you're going to play for Kim, you have to play hard all the time. And she insinuated that there were people on the team who didn't want to do that. And she talked about it as a us versus them, which was really interesting to hear.
Matt asked if we heard the Florida heckler during the softball game today. I did not hear that.
Yeah.
Robert said Spencer and a few other players quit after she let Ruby Whitehorn off the team. John said that Adidas money will make a big difference this offseason for the Lady Vols. I hope so.
Yeah, it will.
Matt's ticked off about the Florida heckler guy. I gotta go see that now.
Matt, you can go to any rec park in America on any given weekend and watch a select softball tournament and hear way worse. I promise you.
Yeah, parents are wild nowadays.
Yeah, they make tournaments awful. The tournaments would be way more fun and way better if parents weren't allowed to come.
Robert said nobody will want to be a Lady Vol after it's run into the ground. That's a risk they're running. You're exactly right. Travel of Smokey said nobody's worse than the Vandy Whistler. Amen. Totally agree.
He doesn't have a whole lot to whistle about right now.
No, he does not.
They are blowing up.
Hey, side note, did you see what Weigels tweeted about the Vandy Whistler?
No.
Okay, hang on. I got to pull this up. I got to share this on the screen here. We'll end our show with this. It was Weigels was out for blood, man.
Tim
Whoever
Corbin
runs.
Tim Corbin's finding out what the real world is now. Forever Vanderbilt was a private institution, and so they were able to give more scholarships than everybody else. Well, now with the NCAA rule changes and everybody having an equal number of scholarships, magically Vanderbilt's not one of the best teams in America anymore. Imagine how that happens.
So, Travel of Smokey said Weigel's social media team is the best. They are, man, seriously. So, Weigel's after Vandy lost last night, Weigel's posted, "You almost hate that for Vandy there." We don't, but you might. Some Vanderbilt fan replied, "I know you guys aren't big enough to be in Nashville, but do you realize Vandy fans drive through your region to get to games and never ever stop at a Weigel's?" And they replied to him and said, "Whistler stopped in once for a corn dog and started that nonsense, and we threw him right out, banned for life." How awesome is that? That is amazing. That is amazing. So shout out to Weigels for the awesome social media posts. Whistler stopped in once for a corn dog, started that nonsense. We threw him out, banned for life. Let's see. James said if Cooper was bought in and wants to come back, she needs to have a better attitude on the court. Yeah, for sure. And on the bench. Let's see. John said, I still don't think want Cooper back next year. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me situation. I agree wholeheartedly. I agree.
I just wonder, after hearing her comments, and again, this is not a good thing. It shows her immaturity. But after hearing her comments, it almost sounded like there was a 50-50 split on the roster. And there was the group that is going to play hard and the group that isn't. And they chose sides and know who's who. And that she was basically just sick of the other group. And that, it was affecting her mentality. Obviously, she needs to be more mature than that. It's time to grow up. But if that is the case, it would be interesting to see what she would look like with a completely different roster.
Well, everybody remember this Thursday, we're going to rank the top 5 best men's basketball players in Tennessee basketball history. The top 5 men's basketball players in Tennessee basketball history. That is assuming that Tennessee is not playing while we're live. We will have to play that by ear when we hear that. Hopefully there'll be a Friday night game, and then we can go live on Thursday like always, and then watch the Vols Friday night. But that's the hope. Ruston, any last thoughts before?
We didn't really talk baseball, but really I just had one thought on that. Pitching staff's really starting to figure it out. They're doing a great job. Josh Elander's starting to figure out what his offense has to look like and how they have to play. Thought some of the changes he made this weekend offensively were really, really smart and paid off. They have one issue they got to figure out. Tegan Coons is not your Friday night starter. He throws way too many fastballs in the middle of the plate. Either he's got to start pitching backwards, and for those of you who don't know what that means, it means on any count where you normally would throw a fastball, you throw a curveball, and vice versa. he's either got to start pitching backwards to keep people off balance, or he's got to go to the bullpen. Because once teams see him, they just tee off. I mean, they're just sitting there unloading on fastballs. It doesn't move. It stays on one plane all the way in. It's easy to hit. Doesn't matter how hard it's coming in, it's going to go out even harder. And they need a tone setter on Friday night. I could see Cam Appenzeller being that guy. I could see Brandon Arbitson being that guy. It'll be interesting to see where they go with that, but Tegan Coons is not that guy.
Mississippi Vols said, I agree. Russ Tegan's a good guy, but his stuff is, shall we say, lacking at times. Travel Smokey said, switch him and Blanco, in my opinion.
John the problem is you can't really do that because you need to make sure you win Sunday. And Evan Blanco looks very comfortable as the Sunday starter, so you don't want to mess with that. And for the most part, Landon Mack has looked good on Saturday. It's really just the first guy on Friday night because the bullpen's done a good job saving him the last 2 weeks. So I think it's more they just got to shuffle, maybe start Arvidsson, let Tegan come in for an inning or two in the middle so he's not hurting you and they're only seeing him for a short period of time, and then let Appenzeller come finish it out.
Cam Appenzeller had a phenomenal performance this weekend.
Yeah. He's had back-to-back very good weekends. He's throwing the ball really well right now. But they've got to change. The guy on Friday night has got to give you a chance to win. And right now, Tegan Coons is putting us in a hole every single Friday
night. Tennessee basketball tweeted out a video of JP Estrella with a camera after the post game, and he's like, how sweet it is, kind of thing. And the caption that Tennessee basketball put on there is sweet as soda pop, some might say. Well played, Tennessee basketball social media. Well played.
They also tweeted out a picture of Igor Milicic in the hallway talking to some of the players. Felix and JP make him look small, and he's a big dude. Like Felix and JP are physical freaks.
Mm-hmm. So somebody asked about Appenzeller. Matt said, can we talk about Appenzeller? Yeah, we talked about Cam really early in the show. I mean, coming in bases loaded, no outs, and you throw 16 pitches, 13 of which are strikes, and you shut down the side. Dude, that's awesome. No runs allowed. That's incredible. And then he just continued.
But even after that, he just kept going. Like he was just mowing through them. He's getting better and better.
Let's see. Nolan said Tegan needs to be a guy you bring in to spell a guy for one inning like Tony V used to do. Mm-hmm. Matt asked, did Ruston brief us on Iowa State yet? So you want to tell folks what you're going to do?
Yeah, since Joshua Jefferson got injured, the Kentucky game was the first game they've played without him. So I want to go back and watch that again and try to analyze what they're doing to overcome his absence. So I'm going to watch that game over again, break down the film, and during the week this week, I'll shoot a video of kind of an Iowa State scouting report, and then we'll post it.
Sounds good. Well, everybody remember to join us Thursday night. We got 338 people, 340 watching across all three platforms right now. That's awesome. Thank you all so much. Go Vols, baby. Sweet 16, how sweet it is. Looking forward to seeing them play. Remember to join us Thursday night because we're going to rank the top 5 best men's basketball players in Tennessee basketball history Thursday night. I love somebody earlier said, honorable mention, Dane Bradshaw, loved his heart. I mean, Dane is the man. So that's a great choice. I've said that twice on this show before. I'll say it again. My favorite Dane Bradshaw story is he was talking about somebody asked him, what's it like to play with Chris Lofton? He said, here's what it's like to play with Chris Lofton. Chris, I'm open. Chris, I'm open. Nice shot, Chris. That was the best story I've ever heard. That was fantastic. Let's see. Jonathan said, great show as always. I'll see everyone at Thursday. Hey, appreciate you, Jonathan. Thank you so much, buddy. Matt, we appreciate you, man. Everybody watching, hey, thank you so much. Mississippi Vol channel emoji, that's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Deborah, that dude that you're talking about in the comments, that is
that's called assault.
Yeah.
Every person in attendance should have called Child Protective Services.
Yeah. Seriously. Let's see. K Train said, great show, guys. Stay safe during the week. Go Vols, baby. Absolutely. I appreciate you, man. Stingray said, great show, Vol Bros. Later, I'll go Big Orange. Thank you, buddy. Travel Smokies, great advice. Everyone like and share. Matt said, Sweet 16. Absolutely. Everybody that watched, really, really appreciate you. It was cool seeing everybody. Deborah and Ron are in the comments. James had some great questions. It just awesome interaction tonight. We really appreciate everybody. Matt, always appreciate seeing you on here. Nolan said, honorable mention that guy that left us after 5 games and went to Baylor just to miss the tourney. That's pretty good. Hey, Dester, appreciate you, buddy. He said, great show as always. Go Vols. Appreciate that, man. Deborah said, Sweet 16, baby. Here we go. Absolutely. We hope everybody has a great week. We hope to see you Thursday night at 9:00. Slim, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for being here. Go Vols, baby. We will see all of you very, very soon.